Hello everyone, James here from JVC Paints. I got something kind of cool and very, very special today. My friend from Tokyo came in, we played a game of Bolt Action, and he brought his 172nd North African campaign Italians from 1941-1942. It's huge, he's got lots of stuff. He's just going to talk about it and talk us through his army and just give us a rundown. We're going to break it down into some parts for support, infantry, and armor and everything. So yeah, man, take it away. What's the gem here?
So, okay, this army was started about 10, 12 years ago. I collected a lot of kits, but I never got around painting it.
Okay.
I just painted a few pieces, but recently, thanks to lockdown, not everything is bad because of the lockdown, so I decided to challenge myself and finish painting the army.
Oh, right on, okay.
So it started as a Battle of El Alamein army. However, I also like the early Desert War stuff, so it's a bit of a mix.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So, you want to talk about like what's first? You want to talk about the tanks first, or you want to talk about
sure. Let's start with the tanks. So, here I use some old Esci, now Italeri kits in 1/72 scale. That's a conversion.
Okay.
Because normally the kits come with a turret.
Okay.
However, there are the parts to make a common tank.
Okay.
And I also have some CV-33 Carro Veloce, so speed tank.
Okay.
As they would call them. They're pretty bad, but they were pretty bad. And also there's the flamethrowing version.
Okay, that's cool. So then that's the tank and the gas in the back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have the Semoventi, which were self-propelled guns. And again, I did this one in the middle. It's a command tank. It's conversion. I basically used the barrel from an M13 tank.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see that. So it's got a different kind of barrel on it. Okay, cool.
And then I added a tank commander in a blue suit, typical of the Italian army.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got those guys.
Next to it, I would like to get everyone's attention. So this is very dear to me. Okay. Because it represents a Nizza Cavalleria, which was a unit where I did my armed service.
Oh, cool.
Which was a reconnaissance unit, and they participated in the war in the desert.
So, did you fight in the desert?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
You don't have a time machine or anything?
No,
okay,
thank
all right.
God I didn't have to. So it's representation of my I can say my older brothers in arms.
Okay, right. So this is your unit, but in times gone by. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right. So let me take a couple photos, and then you can talk us through the infantry. So these are some anti-tank trucks. So can you tell me a little bit about them, dude?
Okay, these are AS-37. AS is Auto Sahariana, so Sahara's car, basically.
Yeah.
And I made two types. One is, sorry, let me move it so it's easier to see.
That's cool.
They had anti-tank guns, and then I made one with an anti-AA machine gun.
Okay. Okay.
And heavy machine gun.
The one thing I noticed that's really cool about these things is that you painted the windows. Can you just show the windows real quick, like the windscreen and the?
Well, I learned from my brother. He's very good at doing these. And actually, oops, sorry, that comes out. So you can, if you want to make it like facing this way,
right? So he can shoot his
buddy. So he's shooting his buddy. You can. And basically, the windows.
I like how you did that. That's really cool. A lot of people don't know what to do. They just paint them blue, and then they don't look that good. But I think you really pulled it off with these. That's a good idea.
It's actually easier than it looks.
I think the effect on it looks really well because you got the decals on like the license plates. You did the headlights and everything like that too. So I think it really sells it because it matches up. But cool, okay. And what about those ones in the back?
And in the back,
those ones are really cool too.
These.
So how about these ones in the back? What are these?
Okay, these one in the back are the famous AS-42. Again, another Auto Sahariana.
Okay.
These were for the time being very revolutionary jeeps, and I made two types. So I made two with anti-tank guns.
Okay, cool.
Right? And this one is the first kit that Italeri put out, which was actually the really, desert-themed vehicle. And I made a little conversion because conversion. I'm sorry, because it had a machine gun in the front, so I put a guy shooting up in the sky, so it looks like they're being strafed by a plane or something.
Oh, okay.
So he's like shooting back.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like it. So those are is that an MG34? Because these ones are Berettas, right? The machine gun.
These would be I think a Revelli heavy machine gun, which theoretically, I mean, if you look on these models, it's smaller.
Right.
But the miniature have a bigger gun, so why go smaller when you can go bigger, right?
Right. Okay. So that's your armored car, and then you got one more little armored car. And what about I guess we can talk about the command guy later.
Sure.
What about this guy? I'm just gonna move this guy to the front here.
This is a captured Brent carrier.
Captured?
Yes, actually the desert saw a lot of British would use like German trucks, Italian trucks, and vice versa.
The British actually lost something in the desert?
They did actually. Look at that. And even with a very
insulting
Italian flag
all the rule books that I have, that they're so awesome, are wrong? What?
No, they just mention it.
I'm just busting some balls.
But I converted it and I put some sandbags.
Oh, that's cool.
And the driver and the other member of the crew these are paratroopers.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. I'm gonna take some photos of these, and then let's talk about your troops, man. Okay, so now let's take a look at your infantry, because you got a lot of infantry, you got a lot of anti-tank, you got a cool command car. There's a lot of different little units here, so you want to just like talk me through them? What do you got here?
Sure. Okay, so we have this guy I'm really proud of. This is a conversion.
Okay.
Used to be an Alpini mountain troop.
Okay.
But during the African campaign, there was an engineer battalion, which I think was the 31st.
Okay.
Their commander was actually an Alpini.
Mm-hmm.
So there are pictures of this guy wearing a tropical uniform with an Alpini hat.
Okay, cool.
And some people comment was like, man, not even in the desert you can take that, at off Alpinis.
Right.
So everywhere. And I really like that. The guy was called Caccia Dominioni.
Okay.
His family name, and even wrote a book about the Battle of El Alamein.
Oh, cool.
Really interesting book.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Then we have a radio with a commanding guy.
Yeah, I always think the antennas that they had on these radios look kind of cool, because I have them for my bolt action army, right? So
yeah, the round antenna which was foldable, and they would just deploy it wherever they could.
Do you know anything about like the efficacy of them? Like, were they like it's just such a weird design, right? So like I'm just wondering, and it seems to be really unique to the Italian.
That sounds it's very autarkic.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it's like, we are gonna do it ourselves. So that's why you get all these kind of like weird design. And maybe sometimes not really well working stuff. But we tried.
It looked cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So what's next?
Then if we move over here, so these figures, this unit here, and the next. Over here.
These guys. Okay.
These represent Folgore paratroopers.
Okay, cool.
They were supposed to invade Malta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they were diverted and they became infantry, and they fought really, really well. Mm-hmm. And where they were, like, they were actually assaulting, like, tanks, Sherman tanks, with, like, Molotov cocktails, bombs, and stuff like that.
Okay, and so what about these figures? Are they Italeri, or the Esci,
these are from a company called Waterloo 1815.
Oh, okay.
These actually were, originally, these were not paratroopers.
Oh, okay.
They were late war Decima Mas
I see.
guys,
okay. Yeah.
And I replaced the heads with a manufacturer called Merliton.
Oh yeah, Merliton. Yeah, I got my hobbits from them. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Merliton. They sell the old Grenadier figures.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But they also have a great 1/72nd scale range of metal Italians. And a while ago, I bought a few heads just to do conversions and stuff, and I just replaced the heads with a tropical helmet.
Okay, so that's these guys. Let's go to your front unit because they're kind of cool. Like, they've got bombs.
Okay, these are
flag.
Bersaglieri.
Bersaglieri.
In Italian, we call them bersaglieri. Bersaglio means target.
Okay.
So they're like the targeteers, and they were elite light infantry.
Okay.
And they were known for their, I don't know if you can see it in here.
Okay.
Wait,
the
if
feathers?
there's a guy, yes, they would have feathers on their helmets. I mean, even nowadays they do have them, so that's their trademark. So I have 2 units, standard, infantry units.
Okay, yeah.
I made a guy with a flag just because I liked it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
And then in the back we have a Solotherm anti-tank gun.
Right, okay.
And then a Bersaglieri heavy machine gun.
Okay.
And next to them,
yeah,
these are, I really enjoyed, these are old Airfix figures in 1/76 scale.
Okay.
And they look very standard, there's like rifle guys with some machine guns, and the uniform is nothing tropical, nothing special, so I decided to paint them in green.
Okay.
They would represent early units of black shirts sent to fight on the African front.
Oh, okay, right.
But to, give them a little bit of flavor, I decided to go with the beige helmet.
Yeah, okay, so that's sort of the tropical tie-in. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then what about this? This is the Elefantinos,
these are,
right?
yes, Elefantino anti-tank guns. They could be used as normal infantry or Bersaglieri. And I had these, the cannons themselves are from a company called Mini-Me Miniatures.
Okay.
Same as the trucks, the anti-tank trucks you showed earlier are from this company.
Okay.
Really high quality, very, very good price. And I bought 3 just to, see how they were made.
Okay.
And I really enjoy them.
Let's talk about this command car, dude.
Okay,
really cool.
So this command car comes from SHQ Miniatures.
Okay.
The driver and the general, well, the high-ranking officer are from Mirliton. But the detail I like the most, let me touch it here. It's the fact that I found some photos of, command cars of the Ariete division.
Yeah.
And they had like this. We Italians like to stencil symbols and stuff on their vehicles and helmets and stuff. So they had it stenciled on the door, and I was like, okay, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's how it came in. That would be the overall commander.
Okay.
And it's a guy, with a peaked dot and
he looks a little
good
bit like
looking.
The person who painted this army too. So kind of interesting.
Yeah. Similarities.
A little bit, yeah. What about these guys here? This is more.
Okay, this is more Elefantino guns. These are Folgore, so paratroopers.
Okay.
3 guns and a heavy machine gun.
Awesome.
And this guy here used to be a German that was converted and turned into an Italian.
Awesome. Great. So he's from Tyrol. Okay. And then we've got some other stuff up here too. Just let's start with on the left to right. You got some mortars.
Okay, so these are infantry mortars and 1 Bersaglieri mortars.
Okay.
This one comes from Grabby Tanks Miniatures.
Okay.
Really nice. And these come from the now, I think it's probably not in business anymore, Under the Bed Enterprises, which was a very, let's say very cheap, but the design wasn't probably their forte.
Okay.
If you can put it that way.
Okay.
And next to it, I made a stretcher bearer.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
This is an Airfix model. To which I cut off a rifle. He originally had a rifle on his shoulder, and I had a metal head from I don't know which manufacturer. Wow. I just changed it a little bit, and I gave him like a putty armband with a red cross, if you can see.
Yeah, no, I see it. And you've got and then you've got this poor guy standing out in the desert sun in black, directing traffic.
Is a tanker.
Yeah.
And I originally I think the figure came with a pair of binoculars in his hand. But I was like, no, wait a minute. He's, hand raised and everything. That's perfect as a traffic controller. Cool. So that's what he became.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to take some photos of these, and then you're going to tell me about your artillery. Okay?
Sure.
And your airplanes. Let's talk about the artillery here. So here we go. These guys here.
So we have 75 millimeter guns.
Yep.
From World War One. Actually, they were still using them.
Okay.
Then we have medium howitzers, about 100 millimeters, if I'm not wrong, or 105. Then I made some resin trucks to take them in the desert, take them around in the desert.
Okay.
And then that's the coolest cannon ever. That's like 150 millimeters.
Wow.
And it's a great kit from Italeri. with the huge amount of crews. Awesome kit.
What was guys? There's like 10 guys.
Yeah, I don't know what they all do, but apparently they were all involved.
They're all doing something. Okay.
And then I have a couple of anti-tank cannons, 90 millimeters. These were the equivalent of the German 88.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. I like how you got those base. That's kind of cool. Okay, and then finally you've got these bad boys. I'm gonna pan back so you can see both of them as they fly up. But then let's talk about the little guy first.
Okay, this is a Macchi MC202.
Right.
Which came out in around 1943 and was finally a decent Italian plane that could match, you know, British or American planes.
Okay,
but we didn't have enough to make a difference.
Sure. Okay. And what about this?
And then this is an old Airfix kit, Savoia Marchetti, so SM 79, if I'm not wrong, and this was a torpedo plane.
Oh, cool! Yeah, he's got the torpedoes on the bottom.
The two torpedoes on the bottom and was apparently the best torpedo plane of the war.
Awesome! Very cool, dude. So you got this huge force. What rule set would you use for these guys? Because there's so many guys. I mean, there's just like there's heaps, as you can see. Nothing's in focus right now.
I think I would use for like smaller actions.
Okay.
You know, choosing the troops depending on the scenario, I would use them for bolt action. But there's also a game that I like a lot called Blitzkrieg Commander.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. And then I mean, you know, with all the rules changes, but collection stays.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know, when I'll find something that matches them and makes them usable, I will use them. As a collection guide, I often use rapid fire army list books because they have charts and they're easy to understand. You can just basically buy the same things that they show you on the army list, and you end up having a huge army like this happened to me.
Okay, cool, dude. All right, I'm gonna take some photos of these. Thanks very much for showing us, I should say, your super project here. It's totally cool. So, what are you working on now? Are you working on British and Germans now for
the same scale, British and Germans, and I won't probably do as many. But
yeah. This is like a big project. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Next project.
Awesome. All right, thanks, man. Let's take some photos.